say, Uncle? Say you won't make more missiles.
Okay, guys, President Trump has just rocked the world once again with an announcement on the war in Iran, which he says is over now.
What is up, Patriots? We're diving headfirst into some breaking news that got everybody scratching their heads and frankly a little confused. President Trump, never one to shy away from a bold declaration, is apparently calling the war in Iran over. Poof, just like that. Done. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear war over, I usually picture a treaty, a surrender, maybe some official documents signed by actual warring parties. Not a tweet or a phone call that sounds like it was made during a golf swing. But hey, this is the Trump era, so buckle up because things are about to get wild, and we're here to unpack every single head-spinning claim. We're going to be breaking down the latest from the president, analyze the facts as presented, and ask the tough questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Is this a genius geopolitical chess move, or just another case of Trumpian bravado? Let's find out.
Okay, wait just a second here. President Trump just minutes ago was planning on dropping the Moab on Iran, saying that it might go nuclear, demanding only unconditional surrender when Iran can't fight any longer. But now Donald Trump is saying, I think we're good here. It kind of matches what he said this weekend, and we'll give you all the breaking news right now. This is what President Trump posted on Saturday, saying Iran, which is being beat to hell, has apologized and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors and promised that it will not shoot down at them anymore.
All right, hold on a minute. Iran beat to hell, apologized, and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors and promised not to shoot them anymore? Folks, I've seen more convincing apologies from a toddler after he's drawn on the wall with a permanent marker. This is a country that has been a thorn in the side of pretty much everyone for decades, built on a foundation of revolutionary defiance and anti-Western rhetoric. Are we seriously expected to believe that after some unspecified relentless US and Israeli attack, they just folded like a cheap suit in a poker game? This isn't exactly the kind of nuanced diplomatic language you hear when a major geopolitical player suddenly decides to become a good neighbor. It sounds more like someone's trying to rewrite history with a magic marker and a prayer. Alright, let's be real here for a second. Iran has a long memory, and their leadership isn't exactly known for meekly apologizing and promising to play nice. This isn't a schoolyard spat where you say sorry and everyone goes home. The geopolitical chessboard is a bit more complicated than that. So when I hear apologize and surrender, my BS detector starts screaming like a banshee. It's almost as if someone is painting a picture of total victory, not because it's true, but because it sounds good. It's like saying you won a marathon because you ran the first mile really fast and then declared yourself the winner. The rest of the race, the other competitors, the actual finish line, minor details. We need to look beyond the bravado and ask, what's the real story here? Because Iran apologize and surrender feels less like a news headline and more like a fantasy novel.
The promise was only made because of a relentless U.S. and Israeli attack. They were looking to take over and rule the Middle East. It's the first time that Iran has ever lost in thousands of years, and surrounding Middle Eastern countries, and they have said, thank you, President Trump. You're welcome. Iran is no longer the bully of the Middle East. They were instead the loser of the Middle East, and will be for many decades until they surrender or more likely completely collapse. Okay. So Donald Trump promised that Iran would be hit very, very hard today, and they were. All of Iran's oil depots were blown up, and it was like literal Dante's Inferno, hell on earth. And President Trump is now planning on seizing some of the islands that they use in order to export their oil. Very interesting stuff. Nonetheless, here's what President Trump said literally minutes ago in a phone interview. President Trump speaking with this, I think it's CBS News reporter. Yeah, there we go. President Trump told me that the war could be over soon. I think the war is very complete, pretty much. They have no Navy, no communications. They've got no Air Force.
Okay, no Navy, no communications, no Air Force? Seriously? Are we talking about Iran or a small island nation that just discovered electricity? This is the kind of claim that makes you wonder if they're playing a game of telephone with reality. Iran, for all its faults and threats, isn't a pushover. They've been building up their capabilities, albeit often with older tech, for years, To suggest that they have absolutely nothing left after what sounds like a very rapid, undeclared war is frankly insulting to anyone who understands military logistics. It's like saying your opponent in a boxing match has no arms, no legs after the first punch. Sure, you want to project strength, but let's keep it tethered to reality, even if it is by a thread. Modern warfare isn't just about big battleships and fighter jets anymore. We're talking about asymmetric threats, proxies, cyber warfare, drone swarms, and missile capabilities that don't need a conventional air force to be effective. So, when Trump says no Navy, no Air Force, what he probably means is no conventional Navy or Air Force capable of directly confronting the United States head on and actually winning, which, let's be honest, has been true for decades. But to imply total obliteration of all capabilities, that's a stretch so wide it could cover the entire Persian Gulf. It smells like an attempt to exaggerate success and justify a quick exit, rather than a genuine assessment of their military state. Let's not forget, these are the same folks who can make life very difficult for shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, regardless of how many jets they have in the sky.
He added that the U.S. is very far ahead of its initial 4 to 5 week estimated time frame. President Trump, the war is very complete, is now the number one headline in the world right now. Again, from minutes ago. Phone interview with CBS News on Monday, President Trump said the U.S. war with Iran could be almost over. I think the war is very complete, pretty much, the president said, speaking at Doral, Florida Golf Club. Iran has no Navy, no comms. Their drones are being blown up all over the place, including their manufacturing of drones. The U.S. military said it struck over 3,000 Iranian targets in the first week of the operations. If you look, they have nothing left. There's nothing left in the military sense, says Trump. Late Sunday, Iran announced that Ayatollah, the new Ayatollah, the son of Ayatollah Khomeini, would replace his father as Iran's supreme leader, but nobody's seen him because apparently he was horribly injured in one of the bombings. I have no message for him, none whatsoever, the president said, adding that he has someone else in mind to lead the country. Commercial shipping through the Straits of Hormuz, where about 20% of the global oil supply flows, has effectively ground to a halt. The president said the U.S. could do a lot about the strait and threatened Iran if its inhabitants were in the waterway. They've shot everything that they have to shoot. They better not try anything cute, or it's going to be the end of that country. If they do anything bad, it would be the end of Iran. You never hear that name again. Donald Trump said, goodness gracious. Start thinking it over. Whoa. Mr. Trump initially estimated that the war would take a month to complete. We're very far ahead of schedule. Then President Trump talked about actually taking over the Strait of Hormuz as the Department of War posted just this image. No mercy. Whew. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and see. Well, how's the reaction here? Well, the reaction's been extremely good. You can see that, the stock market has turned green on this news. NASDAQ is absolutely exploding upward. The Dow Jones has also absolutely gone parabolic and erased all of its losses on the day. Whew. So the markets are loving this. Trump floats ending the war in Iran after mysterious call with Vladimir Putin.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone. Or rather, Putin's phone, apparently. So the markets are suddenly loving this, and then bam, we found out Trump had a mysterious call with Vladimir Putin, and then the idea of ending the Iran war pops up. This isn't just a coincidence, folks. This is a full-blown geopolitical magic trick. It's like someone pulled a rabbit out of a hat, but the rabbit is actually a quid pro quo with global implications. The timing here is so suspicious. It's practically wearing a trench coat with dark sunglasses. You've got to wonder, what exactly was discussed on that mystery call? Was it a casual chat about the weather or a heavyweight negotiation where the fate of nations was traded like baseball cards? And the fact that it's tied to the markets loving it, that's the oldest trick in the book. Create some good news, even if it's manufactured, and watch the numbers climb. It's a classic distraction technique, a shiny object to get everyone looking there, while the real maneuvering happens behind the curtain. It's a reminder that in politics, especially at the highest levels, nothing is ever truly mysterious without a reason. Someone always benefits, and usually it's not the average citizen. So while the markets might be doing a happy dance, we need to be asking, at whose expense?
Could this potentially be part of what Trump's strategy is here? because on the same day today, like there is now rumors that America is going to stop its sanctions on Russian oil. Will Vladimir Putin get something out of this, where they'll stop funding Iran? They'll help do a regime change in Iran or support that, and then the Russian economy gets opened up to Western investment again. Maybe. President Trump suggested his war with Iran could soon come to an end just hours after completing a mystery phone call with Vladimir Putin. Trump told reporters the U.S. forces are very far ahead of schedule, claiming Iran's military has effectively been destroyed. I think the war is very complete, very much, Trump told CBS News. Okay, well, what is this exactly? The two leaders discussed the current war in Ukraine as well as the oil market in Venezuela. Following Trump's remarks, the stock market rallied. Tumultuous trading day. U.S. oil has also plunged. It was up at like $115 a barrel. Now it's down to $86 a barrel. Goodness gracious. After Trump said he was thinking about taking it over, the Straits of Hormuz. The Dow closed up 200 points after dropping nearly 900 points in the session low, and the S&P jumped. NASDAQ spiked as well. The president also claimed that Iran's missile and drone capabilities have completely been neutralized following the death of the regime's supreme leader. And reports are that while President Trump is having a great time, here's the Donald and the Beast. The reports are that the Mojtaba Khomeini was reportedly severely injured. One of his legs had to be amputated. And he's not even aware that he's supreme leader. Yikes. Okay. So, I mean, not great, obviously. Markets jumping at the news that Trump thinks the war is complete. Again, is he using this as a proxy for Putin? It's very fascinating. I didn't actually know this until reading this article right here. Trump's latest remark comes as he held a call with Putin. And the Russian president shared a proposal to quickly end the war.
All right, so Putin, the guy who's currently waging a brutal war in Ukraine, is subtly playing geopolitical matchmaker. He's got a proposal to quickly end the war, quote unquote, in Iran. And in return, we stop sanctions on Russia and they'll end the war in Ukraine. Talk about a multi-layered deal. This is starting to sound less like international diplomacy and more like a high-stakes game of let's make a deal with the global stability as the grand prize. Let's cut through the noise. Russia benefits immensely from sanctions relief, especially on oil, and Putin loves to project himself as a global power broker. So for him to step in and quote unquote facilitate change in Iran, a country Russia has complex ties with, while simultaneously getting a lifeline for his own struggling economy, that's a win-win for Moscow, no matter how you slice it. But for us, is it really awesome to trade one potential conflict for concessions to an aggressor nation? This is kind of transactional foreign policy, while potentially offering short-term peace, quote unquote, often comes with long-term consequences. It legitimizes Russia's role, potentially weakens our stance against their aggression in Ukraine, and paints a picture of a world where conflicts can be bartered away based on who makes the best offer. It's a dangerous precedent, and it raises serious questions about the true cost of this peace, quote unquote, and who truly benefits in the long run. It feels like we're trading one headache for a much bigger migraine down the line.
Oh, okay. So we end our war in Iran, they'll end the war in Ukraine. I don't know. That's kind of awesome. Something like that. We stop sanctions on Russia, and Russia will facilitate. Like Russia and China, but China's such a dodgy ally. Russia's like an ally of Iran. They could really facilitate, they could truly facilitate change here. I don't know. This is fascinating. Okay, I guess we'll see. The Trump went farther by telling close aides he would support killing Iran's new supreme leader. Mojtaba, 56, the second son of the Ayatollah, was announced as his successor. But he ain't doing too well, according to these reports. Anyway, U.S. ceasefire in Iran. Looks like the betting markets are very excited about the potential ceasefire in Iran. The possibility is exploding. The markets are exploding. All good things, ladies and gentlemen, must come to an end. So I guess we'll see. Look at that. everything green. Everything flips green on the announcement of peace. And Donald Trump might get his unconditional surrender. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Shortest world war in history. Venezuela, Cuba now, like effectively states in America. Canada next. Greenland. I don't know, man. Coming up W's.
So there you have it, folks. A war that was apparently over before most of us even knew it started. An apology from Iran that stretches credulity, and a mysterious phone call with Putin that seems to have solved everything, all while the markets cheer. It's a wild ride, to say the least. Whether this is a stroke of genius, a stroke of luck, or just plain political theater, one thing's for sure. It's never boring when President Trump is in the headlines. But as always, we need to keep our eyes wide open and question the narrative, especially when it sounds too good to be true. What do you think? Is this the shortest war in history or just the latest chapter in a long-running political drama? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the next truth behind the headlines. Stay vigilant, Patriots.